2 pages for a billion investment. Uh, I'd like to, but before that, let me acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Guji Haneda, the Ambassador of Japan to the Philippines, Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi, and the other members of the Cabinet. Alam mo, Al, you do not need this job. Really. Nakita ko yung sal-end mo. If I were you, you can retire if you want. Quite an, but used to be the Naya, but before that he was really a prosperous businessman. The honorable members of the House of Representatives, si Ma'am and the others, Vit Aguirre, anong distrito ba gusto mo? Ganon. Okay. Quezon Governor David Suarez. Well, Aboitiz Power Corporation Chairman Ramon Aboitiz. JERA Senior Executive Vice President Mr. Toshiro Godama. Marubini Corporation Senior Executive Officer Mr. Yasu Hirota. Distinguished guest, mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, mga trabahante, mga taga-beautiful people of Quezon. Bago ko basahin, before I read my written speech, actually nakakahiya naman. Just a multi-billion facility and you read about 2 pages, it would take me about a minute and a half and I'm through. So, suki ako ng Aboitiz Power since 1950. That was the time when, I was very young then to realize, but I used to remember every time there's a change of an equipment, pinapatay yung isa tapos pinapaandar naman yung they had the power plant sa Davao. The very first. Ang suki nila sa Pilipinas ang Davao City. Hanggang ngayon, nagbabayad kami sa kanila. At part of that now is shared by you. Siyempre, yung kita nila, diyan binuhos. Suki kami ng Aboitiz. And one of the Aboitiz guys is now was one of my best friends. Aboitiz really was responsible for the 911 of Davao. And it's a very beautiful one. If you happen to pass by Davao, let me know and I'll give you a tour doon sa facility na yan. It's one of the best in the country and it has helped us a lot in the maintenance of law and order. And so many crimes were solved by the use of those TV cameras, monitors around. Even the bombings in Davao City. Kaya importante ang, power. Without power, we will all die. But let me disabuse the minds of some of the Filipinos. Actually, before the Republic's inauguration, we were under the Americans. And before that, we were a colony of the Americans. Mga kolon tayo eh. Ngayon we were caught, of course, there was a colonial power ruling the country. War broke out and every country was in the process of rebuilding the ruins of their cities and their country. Alam mo, noon sabi nila, kasi minsan nakaka-insulto sa Pilipino. Yung kita mong Pilipinas, tignan mo how indolent they are. They used to be the second to Japan, then consecutively, pababa sila ng pababa. Until now, they would always point to Bangladesh as ang mataas sa atin. You know, do not forget that while they were rebuilding their countries, for example, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei, they were also in the process of explorations and development of a commodity that is very precious until now. At binigay ng Diyos sa lahat except the Philippines. Alam mo ano yan? Oil. Kasi saan ka dito makita, it's a product of oil. This one, the cement, the chairs that you are using, this guy with the camera, dadaan ng factory yan. I don't know if there's such a thing as a lathe machine. They move with power. And the only source of power is really what is inside the bowels of the earth. It's gas and oil. Wala tayo niyan eh. So as they develop, because that oil, that single commodity that was missing in the cycle of our economy, yung oil. Kaya mahina ang progress natin. Because you look around and it's oil. It's a product of oil. Lahat. Maski anong tingin mo. Except the organic things that are around. So talagang pababa tayo ng pababa. Simply because we did not have that, or we do not have that single commodity. We have it now. So it's not correct to use the past tense. We have struck oil na Alegria, and Secretary Jose told me that it has produced something like and we hope that we can extract more oil, and if really have those in plenty, then maybe, just maybe in the fullness of God's time, we would aakyat na tayo sa atang economy. Remember that. Because we didn't have the oil, we had to buy it. I remember in 1972 there was this crisis, and OPEC was burned. Or born. He burned the world by increasing it exponentially beyond the reach of our country. We had that rotation of brownouts and everything. And you have to have a coupon to get your gasoline. That is how it would impact on a country if you do not have the power. Now, this new facility will provide ilang ito? Output? 420. It will brighten the all of Quezon. And even the NPA magkaroon ng ilaw ang mga buang. Sino yung NPA dito? Jesus! Nandito kayong lahat. So, you should thank the Aboites for setting up this equipment, because you can run all of the machines or whatever you have. Pati na yung may lahat. Pati yung ilaw ninyo dyan sa bukid. Why don't you just come down and let us talk? You're wasting your time. Mag-usap na lang tayo. So, I now read na dito yung babae naggawa nito, baka magalit. Binaliwala yung pagod nila. 2 pages lang rin. I thank the Department of Energy and Aboitiz Power Corporation for making its momentous occasion possible. This event reaffirms not only the government's commitment to empower our citizens into proactive agents of social transformation, but also the private sector's crucial role in augmenting our local industries. Without doubt, this joint venture between Aboitiz and Team A Energy has ensured energy sustainability that will allow us to support the electric demands of the country. Your multiple investments across the archipelago surely bolsters our efforts in advancing the country's development. The opening of this 420 megawatt plant will provide employment and business opportunities to residents of Quezon, including the NPAs. Should they decide to just drop their arms and stop fighting, isang bala niyan would cost the government about 70 pesos. Kung sige kay away dyan, brrrr, ilang 70 yon. Ilang bigas na ang mabili ko para sa mga tao. You might not need it, but the other Filipinos, 90% of our countrymen are really poor. The opening of this 220 megawatt plant will provide employment and business opportunities to the residents. Okay. Through its distribution of reliable and affordable electricity, it will also complement our programs and policies that will lay the foundations of a comfortable and productive life for all. I encourage our private partners to find viable and sustainable solutions that will deliver reliable and expensive electricity to our homes and industries. It is my hope that you will continue to introduce technological breakthroughs and advancements that will ensure cleaner power generation facilities. This administration has been clear about safeguarding our environment to future generations. We intend to have more compliant companies and power plants that prevent damage and reduce emission from harmful effects in the years to come. Let me cut my written speech and just to reiterate my announcement that I am declaring the whole of the island of Boracay as a land reform area. Though I reserve the right to Congress, to you ma'am, maybe to cut a certain strip there sa coastline from the highest to the highest to the lowest point where the low tide and high tide, and maybe you can carve out a strip there inland about half or 1 kilometer, but the entire island will be subjected to a land reform area. I will give it back to the natives. We now enter an era of real and lasting change. I am optimistic that the Aboitiz Power Corporation and Team A Energy will continue to bring about meaningful developments in our communities. Let us join hands as we pave the way towards a more prosperous and progressive Philippines. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Yan lang, wala na. 2 pages. O gusto ba ninyong makinig ng istorya? I said, decided to, kasi pag too much, if you declare it as, if you open the whole island of Boracay to into commercial areas, masisira talaga ang environment. Masisira ang Boracay because there's no other way that the dirt of the humans will go. It cannot climb to the mountains. It always goes to the sea. Baski anong gawin mo. And that was, you have to limit the humans there. And besides, they have waited for so long. Yung mga minorities dyan na hindi talaga nakakuha ng lupa nila. About time to correct certain inadequacies that we cannot exempt. Pati yung administration ko. So we're trying to correct it. And I hope that Congress will maybe agree with me. Lagay lang kayo dyan ng strip. Ngayon, kung wala na yung white sand at gusto ninyong gagana pa yung ekonomiya, magbili na lang kayo ng jubos. Jubos na lang ninyo lahat yung beach ninyo, di puputi. All you have to do is to milk them in a grid and for those jubos, patos, o di white na. Total, ito naman maputi ang magago ang gusto niya. Tayo wikanwalo itong puti, di paliguin mo sa jubos. Good for them. And so I'm very happy to be here, actually. I reserved this half day for you to be here because sa alam mo, suki ako ng Aboitiz. Pero noon, nung Vinets of Life, ito magkwento. Minsan gusto rin, malapit ako maputulan ng kuryente kaya hindi nagbayad on time. Alisto masyado yung... Pero now siguro, they have the grace period. Noon, pag hindi ka kabayad, putol ka agad. But Aboitiz has always been a partner in Davao in the late 50s and the whole of the Philippines ngayon. They have expanded in so many, hindi lang electricity. And we appreciate the Aboitiz family for their patriotism. Mga Bisaya to. Bisaya to sila na mga tisoy. Mga Espanyol. Hindi sila yung kalaban ko, yung Amerikano ang ayaw ko. So, salamat po sa invitasyon ninyo and more power to you.